on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings.
Just some.
Well, we're just recapping a little bit yesterday. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, answers by citing the Lord's version, and we are on text number 13, which we shall go to quickly. Braji nupera ya parito vrajate, lasad vimudnad valabir mahatmanam, vidyo tamanaha pramod datatma dujabi, sa vidyud radlibir yata nabaha. There's some tongue twisters in there. Sanskrit tongue twisters. Okay, translation. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes. And they're all glowing and brilliantly situated, belonging to the great Mahatmas, or devotees of the Lord. You want to have an airplane? Vaikuntha, you can have your own airplane. And people like to have airplanes, own airplanes. Bhagavatam like to have an airplane. And then you can just fly anywhere. But you see, these airplanes don't break down. These airplanes don't crash. But everybody tries to imitate that idea and have an airplane. But they have to run on these, they're not very reliable engines. And sometimes they just stop when you're up in the air. And they come down very quickly. Boom. And Vaikuntha's planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, and they're all glowing and brilliantly situated, belonging to the great Mahatmas, or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions. Ooh, their faces are glowing like lightning. And all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning, airplanes and ladies in the clouds. Srila Prabhupada, purport. It appears that in the Vaikuntha planets there are airplanes also brilliantly glowing, and they are occupied by the great devotees of the Lord with ladies of celestial beauty, as brilliant as lightning. As there are airplanes, so there must be different types of carriages also, like the airplanes, but they may not be driven machines, as we have experience in this world. See, no petroleum up there, no petroleum, no gas, no gasoline required, no diesel, because everything is of the same nature, eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The airplanes and carriages are of the same quality as Brahman. As there is nothing except Brahman, so it should not be misconceived that there is only void or no variegatedness. To think like that is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Otherwise, no one would have such a misconception of voidness in the Brahman. As there are airplanes and ladies and gentlemen, so there must be cities and houses and everything else just suitable to the particular planets. One should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to the transcendental world without taking into consideration the nature of the atmosphere as completely free from the influence of time, etc., as described previously. I would venture to guess there's no termites either, which always cause problems which have to be fixed. Everything there is once you construct it, however that happens, however you make a home or a palace or something, what you use to make it with is basically your mind. And you construct that out of your meditation, and there it appears, and then it never goes away, it's eternal, and all the energy there is eternal. So you create a beautiful house and gardens and everything, and that's it. But I don't know if you have to create them or how long it takes. Couldn't take very long, probably just a few minutes, just because if there was no house there already, then the house that you put there is going to be there for eternity. These are all conceptions that are difficult to conceive of, being conditioned in the material energy with the influence of time. And time creates everything here, it deteriorates. You have to maintain. You have to keep going around and fixing things because they're always deteriorating to some point when you have to try and fix them. And it's very busy, people can stay very busy doing that. That's why we have mechanics and plumbers and electricians and carpenters, because everything has to be fixed. Nothing just stays once it's created, it doesn't just stay there, except maybe plastic, which is a horrible thing. The plastics seem to last forever. They can make a plastic bottle and it just never goes away.
They can freeze though. They can freeze and bust though.
Freeze and break?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, they do. They will deteriorate over some course of time, but it seems like they're never deteriorate. The ocean is full of huge swirls of tons and tons and tons of plastic bottles and plastic bags and everything out there. They're trying to clean it up. They have these boats to try to collect it all and do something with it and recycle it, make more plastic things. You recycle it, no, you got to get rid of it. You can't just recycle it and then they're going to throw it back into the ocean again. Somebody's going to throw it back into the river, which eventually goes to the ocean. So, but it's all business. So it's if you recycle it, make new plastic bottles. What's the point, actually? So in the big picture of things, it's much better to find a place where you can create something that lasts forever. Your body, also there, lasts forever. No disease, no old age, just a blooming youth, all the time having fun. That's what it is. The soul just wants to enjoy, and the soul can enjoy only when it is in the right atmosphere. That's why Prabhupada says, without taking into consideration the atmosphere, the transcendental world, it is completely free from the influence of time, as previously described. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.